Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Wesley Chapel Toyota, and guess what? We have a car that still a lot of people are talking about and being very, very curious about. This is a 2021 Toyota Avalon, but this is like no other Avalon. This is an Avalon TRD. But before we get into this full size of a sport sedan, let's talk about what's going on here. The Avalon. The Avalon is at the top of the lineup here at Toyota when it comes to the largest four-door sedan. Right beneath this would be the Toyota Camry. Beneath the Camry would be the Toyota Corolla. Now, last year, Toyota decided to add those famous letters, TRD, Toyota Racing Development, and try to bring up the performance of not only the Avalon, but also the Camry. Now, I know a lot of people, when they heard TRD, they were thinking maybe supercharged power, maybe turbocharged power. Toyota went a little bit of a different route with this Avalon TRD to bring a level of performance. I'm gonna take you around and really point and showcase those features. And what I wanna find out is, if you're looking for a sport sedan, is the Avalon truly a full-size sport performance style sedan? And also, guess what? We have an all new color for 2021. This is called Ice Edge. And I really want to show it to you and see what you think about it. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this 2021 Avalon TRD and see, really, does it live up to those three letters, Toyota Racing Development? Let's find out. Right off the bat, the styling. It's one of those things that a lot of people either love it or hate it. It's definitely more aggressive and probably the most aggressive Avalon ever to roll out of the Toyota factory. So what you're gonna get is full LED lighting up front, LED daytime running lamps. I love the way they blacked out the interior, just a little bit of chrome reflective in each of the elements. Other than that, looking really sharp. Now, when I was talking to you about aggressive, look at this. You're gonna have this unique front fascia. It all starts with this side air curtain. So the way they extend the bodywork off, functional air curtain, and then dropping it down, you're actually gonna get a nice extension that's gonna help channel that air not only into the air curtain, but up and around the side of the vehicle. This aero work that's been added, this is fully functional stuff. It's not just for show, it actually helps with the go as well. And then coming across the grille, this is one of those big things where people are still arm wrestling, tongue wrestling. They're trying to figure out if they like it or not. It definitely brings some of the Lexus styling to the Toyota lineup, which, remember, Lexus is the premium level of Toyota. But you're gonna get this massive open grille design, gloss black, functional up top and down below. I love the way they have this lower extension with the gloss black, the functionality in the center. And I think my two favorite parts are the way that they have those splitter extensions on the corners that really extend far out. That's gonna help give some downforce at speed, believe it or not. And we're trying to stop air from going underneath this large full-size sedan, but definitely wide, definitely that meaner side of things. Let me know in the comment section, do you think it just looks like a whale shark or a catfish, or is this just too much grille? Now, I am gonna zonk a little bit of it. You do have, of course, because of the bracing behind the front fascia, there is some blocked off area, but the good news is where the functionality needs to be, you're getting that functionality. So let's go ahead and kind of give it a quarter zonk because it's kind of there because of, like I said, the bumper reinforcement that is behind the front fascia. Now, when we get up onto the hood, super clean body lines, no power bulge. You're just gonna get your peaks that rise up, flow into the A-pillars. Like I said, let me know what you think about this color called Ice Edge. I think it really fits it to a T and shows all of these intricate body lines. Now, when we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. When you go Avalon TRD, you're actually gonna get these TRD specific wheels. They are lighter than your standard wheel. I love the flat black finish, the Y-spoke design that's going on. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? This is a 19-inch wheel. And basically what we're looking at is we're looking at 255 on the width and a nice slim and trim 45 series sidewall. That's gonna help with rotating mass. It's gonna give us a little bit quicker steering. You do get larger brake rotors. So you're getting almost an inch larger in diameter on the brake rotor. They are fully ventilated. You get some upgraded calipers and pads. And then the suspension behind the nice bright metalwork is going to be retuned. So you're going to get lowering springs that actually lowers the Avalon about 1 inch. You're going to get thicker anti-roll bars, and everything has been tuned. There's actually a K-brace underneath this Avalon to stiffen everything up to give you that nice responsive steering, because remember, performance could come in the way of extra power, but performance could come in the way of extra braking and better handling. Now, as we come down the side of the vehicle, you are getting gloss black on the mirror caps, slim and trim on the turn signals. I love the side sill extension. Just like the aggressive front fascia, you're getting that same gloss black with a little bit of red trim that designates that this is a TRD model. And with it being a TRD model, you're gonna get that functional aero coming towards the rear of the vehicle. Look at the way the body line kind of just drops down, just kind of teardrops down and then disappears into the door. You do have a sunroof, and the great news is they blacked out the whole roof. And I think that's really what's making this ice edge color pop, is the blacked out roof, standard sunroof, but it's all blacked out, including the shark fin antenna. Look at the way they take that quarter window with the black trim. And then coming towards the rear, guess what? We are getting that aero that continues down the side of the vehicle. Getting to the tail end of the business, you're gonna get a gloss black trunklet spoiler, is functional. I've always liked on this generation of the Avalon how they do the tail lights. Really, really futuristic, but really edgy as well. Blacked out on the badging, your Avalon badge and your blacked out Toyota badge on this TRD. Of course, you gotta have Toyota Racing Development. That's what those letters mean. It's cool when you fire up this vehicle, the TRD comes up on the digital display. And then for an Avalon, this freaking rear diffuser looks like it's taken right off of a race car. Nice aggressive rear diffuser that's functional. Plus you're gonna get a catback exhaust. So from the catalytic converter back towards the car, you're gonna get this nice dual tip exhaust. It's a stainless steel. I like the way it's got a trumpet design to the actual exhaust tip to give that V6 a little bit of a growl. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our TRD. All right guys, hood's popped. We got hydraulic hood struts. Underneath the hood, I wish they would have done something at least to the engine cover. You're still getting that very bland, just all black engine cover there, but if you look closely, you see the Toyota badge and then you see that V6. So we have naturally aspirated V6 power. 3.5 liters of V6 power, that gives us 301 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. Yes, we were all hoping for more horsepower, and that's gonna be the zonk, is not at least having a little bit, maybe 25 more horsepower and a sexy engine cover. That would be a big check in my book. But mated to this front wheel drive setup is gonna be an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 around 5.9 seconds. Top speed is 130 miles an hour. The Avalon, being a full-size sedan, weighs in at 3,683 pounds. MPGs, 22 in the city, 31 on the highway. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what were the size of those upgraded brake rotors? You're looking at 13-inch rotors up front. And like I said, you got those TRD lowering springs, lower this vehicle about 1 inch. And if you're looking for something that's a little bit more on the rare side, and I'll be honest with you, I maybe have seen one of these since last year, the first year of the Avalon TRD. I've seen maybe one, maybe, and that might have been the one that I was driving as a press fleet vehicle, to be honest with you. They're only making about 2,600 of these for 2021. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear that catback exhaust growl. All right guys, we're inside this Ice Edge, all new color, 2021 Avalon TRD. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've seen your other reviews of the Avalon TRD, the Camry TRD. I was looking at a Honda Accord. I was looking at the Mazda 6 Carbon Edition you did. I'm really digging this one, especially those extra touches. And this only being, they're just making 2,600 of these. How much is this one? MSRP is right around $46,000. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panels. Now, you'll notice up top, you're gonna get this sort of faux carbon fiber design. It actually is pretty tasteful. It's not too gaudy. The rest of the material is gonna be soft up top. As you drop down, you have nice stitching and soft material in the middle, and then check out the armrest. Go in TRD brings you some very, very nice red contrast stitching. Door pocket though is on the small side. Maybe a juice box and a pastry, maybe 2 donuts. So either one puff stuffed pastry or 2 donuts and a juice box, and that's about it. Now going from the door panel to the dash, I do love the sporty style. It's crazy how the Avalon just by itself has this nice sporty style. You do have the JBL optional sound system, soft touch. There's that, I'm not calling it faux carbon fiber, but it definitely is very tasteful and not gloss black. So amen to that. The red stitching, soft touch material. You got this little tiny nook here where you could drop a Twinkie and have a nice little Twinkie tray here. But let's focus on that infotainment. That's 9 inches of visual pleasure. You got navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a little bit of a accident going on, or somebody's excited over there. That's probably what it is. There's a Rady's Rides member in their car going on throttle. That's what that means if you ever see that on your navigation. But I do like the way it's a 9-inch screen. I don't mind it being all this one unit. Yes, it extends a little bit, but the way it's tilted kind of has a nice flow to it. Let me throw it into reverse. There's your backup camera, and the great news is it does take up all 9 inches. The bad news is it's on the grainy side, and if you haven't figured it out yet, it is a touchscreen. So you can adjust the camera angles there, which is really nice. Put it right back into park. Drop down, you got these integrated AC vents. You're gonna have heated seats, but no ventilated seats. That's gonna be a zonk to me at this price point, just heated seats, but you do get dual climate control. I do like all the finishes. Your start-stop button, that would have been nice bright red for the TRD. That's just an idea, Toyota, from Rady's Rides to you guys. Now, that little Twinkie tray area, watch this. Hocus pocus, alakazam, bam. What do you got in there? You got wireless charging, and you could put probably about, I would say, 7 atomic fireballs in there. What's fascinating is that with the Avalon, especially this TRD, you actually have room for different types of drinks. So you have one round cup holder with some nice stitching, but then there's a U-shaped cup holder. So when you're drinking that U-shaped bottle of milk, or maybe, I don't know, Pepto-Bismol or something, you could have it sitting right there. This guy right here, this is TRD approved. How do I know? It says TRD right there with the red stitching. That's gonna control the 8-speed automatic. You do have your 3 different drive modes, but it's the same drive modes as your standard Avalon Sport, Normal, and Eco. Here's your key fob. Another missed opportunity, Toyota. Would have been nice to say TRD on the key fob, so we are gonna half zonk that. Other than that, it's very, very light, so it's not gonna poke you in the groin and cause you not to have kids. Soft leather, the stitch work is great. Look at that, wow. You have a nice little bit of a peanut M&M tray. And then what do we have here? We got a bag. You got a quick charge kit, courtesy of Toyota here. Wesley Chapel Toyota, just showing that off. USB-Cs, USBs. To be honest with you, I'd get rid of this little gift here, and I would probably you could put 4 baseballs in here. So I could put my Canseco signed baseball, Ken Griffey Jr., and Cal Ripken. And why not? Let's just make it, I'll go, who am I gonna go with? Darryl Strawberry. One of my old time faves. Sad what happened to him though, but such is life. Seats though, check these out. TRD, love the embroidery, love the stitch work, the red, this microfiber suede material, really, really nice. I'm telling you, this is one sporty seat. You do have electric assist on the passenger. Of course, I have electric assist for the driver, and you have your standard size sunroof, which is really nice. But why don't you come over here to the business end, because I got a leather wrapped steering wheel I want to show you behind the wheel of. All right, guys, we're inside this Avalon TRD. You get a nice little sill plate here. It says Avalon, let you know what car you bought in case you forgot. Footbox, when you go TRD, you're gonna get these beautiful aluminum pedals, throttle and brake pedal. We're getting, of course, the Avalon TRD floor mat. That's good for about 5 to 7 horsepower, Rady's Rides certified. You do have your electric assist and lower lumbar. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. These seats, I absolutely love them, and I've driven this vehicle for long distances. Not this particular one, but a Avalon TRD, and these seats are very comfortable, plus they look sexy. Steering wheel, it's a mixed bag. I love the actual wheel itself, the red stitch work, just like a baseball all the way around. The horn button, gotta go. Very, very boring, very, very bland. Does not belong on a TRD, but I do like the flat black on the buttons. You do have the paddles to go up and down that 8-speed automatic, tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then what are you gonna get? You're gonna get a 7-inch display in the center that's digital, analog tech, analog speedometer, coolant, and fuel gauge. looking really good, looking really clean. Let's go ahead, let's get to the back seat, because I'm telling you, that's where you're gonna find out this is a full-size sedan. All right guys, backseat time, and this is where you're gonna spoil those passengers as you're going down your favorite twisty road. The great news is everybody gets to be a hashtag race car driver, because everybody gets red seat belts in the back and up front. The backs of the seats, that nice soft material. You got a large pocket here. Put a couple personal pan pizzas from Pizza Hut for that drive home for your passengers. You got your rear AC, and you have 2 USBs. I'll open up the second door so you don't think I'm lying. USB and a USB-C, even better. That surprised me. Flipped it down. I have my own space here for my own pizzas. Maybe a couple big, large cookies. Maybe a cookie cake. Sounds good right about now. Plenty of headroom. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall, in case you were wondering. I noticed a lot of people Google that on the interwebs. And then look at this. Soft armrest, 2 cup holders. I like the way they kind of glitzed it up a little bit. And you have your Slim Jim holder here, because you want to snap into a Slim Jim. But why don't we go ahead, let's snap into that trunk and see what we could haul in this Avalon TRD. All right guys, one of the things with this being a full-size sedan is obviously you not only get more room on the interior for the passengers, but you're gonna get more room under the trunk. You'll see, just pushing that button, the nice wide opening, deep cargo floor. Of course, you're gonna have an Avalon TRD cargo mat. That's at least worth an extra 5 horsepower. That's Rady's Ride certified extra 5 horsepower. You could fold down the seats, the 60-40 split. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this trunk? You're looking about 16 cubic feet of space. What I really like and can appreciate is how Toyota has the levers here to put those seats down. You don't have to run into the interior of the car. You could do it right there and fold them down. But you know what? If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and get the on throttle down in this Toyota Avalon TRD. All right guys, we are leaving Wesley Chapel Toyota. We're in this 2021 Ice Edge Avalon TRD. The nice thing is I like the way they brought the style from the outside and definitely brought some nice touches to the interior. This infotainment system, easy to use, easy to get to. And that's the one thing that with Toyota that you're gonna find is that they really have made this whole car very intuitive in its overall layout. And I think that's something that's really, really important, especially when you're just getting into a vehicle. You wanna be able to feel comfortable right away. Kind of just going around some of these parked vehicles here, but why don't we go ahead? On throttle, here we go. Naturally aspirated V6 power, low down torque, which is nice compared to the Accord. On the brakes, the crazy news is how flat this thing corners. Very, very respectable, that's for sure. Look at this. That's where you're really feeling the performance. You're not getting extra performance in horsepower numbers, but where you are getting performance is in braking and handling. And that's an area where a lot of people forget. It's the balanced package. You got that massive K-brace underneath the vehicle to connect the front of the vehicle to the rear, stiffen it up, and give you that feedback that you want. I wish it had a sexier steering wheel, and yes, I'd be lying to you if I said that I don't wish it had more horsepower. But hey, maybe that's something that you could take care of if you wanted to with some modifications. But the amount of space that we have up here is great, especially for your backseat passengers. And overall, even with the TRD springs, it's not a super harsh ride. It's gonna be a little bit stiffer than a regular Avalon, obviously, but for the most part, it does a great job with the overall balance. All right, guys, pulling out on this highway, I wanna do a acceleration test from a dead stop here. On throttle, here we go. So you got smooth shifts from the 8-speed automatic transmission. I am noticing a bit of wind noise coming from the window seals, but other than that, very, very smooth ride on this highway section of road. When the road does get a little bit bumpy and ripped up, it is a little bit more harsh, obviously, because of those extra bits that's been added for handling purposes. But I do enjoy the feedback that comes to the wheel a lot more, obviously, than your standard Avalon. But when you're comparing this to an Accord, the Accord is gonna have that little bit extra power pack punch, not in the form of horsepower, but in the way that that 2-liter turbocharged engine delivers its power, and of course the 10-speed automatic. All right guys, we're gonna make a U-turn here, and then we're gonna go on throttle. This time I put it into manual shift mode. I'm gonna use those paddles on the back of the steering wheel. I'm gonna come to a stop here. You got a little bit of a gear indicator at the bottom. On throttle, here we go. Braking the tires there. A little bit of slippage, but you know what? A chirping tire is a happy tire. Now, obviously, using the paddles, you're gonna have a little bit more driver engagement there. Shifts are semi-fast. They're not lightning fast like a lot of other performance sport style sedans. And that's the thing is that this really is for an enthusiast that wants the style, wants the braking and handling, but you're okay with it not being the fastest. But what you are gonna have though is definitely one of the most reliable, if not the most reliable, when it comes to the power plant and the transmission and everything. But visibility is great in here. And the seats, I'm gonna say it again, they're comfortable, they're supportive. They could use a little bit more bolstering, but I think for the most part, the people that go after this Avalon TRD, that's not gonna be a deal breaker for them. All right guys, let's see how she handles again. Let me put it down the first gear. I like the sound of the catback exhaust, that's for sure. On throttle, here we go. A little bit of tire spin there. On the brakes. I'm telling you, the front and back of this car communicate very, very well. Good pedal feel and feedback from the brakes. Really, really nice. Overall, I'm telling you, you're gonna be very, very, I think, pleasantly surprised by what this Avalon TRD can deliver. Let's go one more time. I can't help myself. On throttle, here we go, second gear. On the brakes. Nice downshifts. I like the downshifts. And you are getting a sporty exhaust note from that catback exhaust. Interesting that they couldn't have found 10, 15 horsepower. That would have been just something a little extra nice. But this thing, 400 horsepower, all-wheel drive, look out, sign me up. And remember, in the end, this really does compete against cars like the Maxima. This is not a direct competitor to the Honda Accord, but obviously we're back here at Wesley Chapel Toyota. We're gonna wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another great day here at Wesley Chapel Toyota. I definitely got to thank Scooter and the rest of the crew getting us access to this, not only 2021 Avalon TRD, but also the new color Ice Edge. You know what? It just goes to show that Toyota's doing it their own way. They're building upon that legacy of reliability, but they're trying to bring performance for the enthusiasts. I'm gonna say that this is definitely a little bit higher on that sport performance sedan level. Would have been nice to have extra horsepower, but you definitely wanna take one of these for a drive because it may surprise you on how it makes you feel behind the wheel. But if you wanna keep seeing TRD specials and everything else that's super special in the car world, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, 2 ways to do it. Click the first link, get yourself some Radies Rides merch. Click that second link, become a Radies Rides Patreon member. We got to give it up to that very special person, Lori, working that camera like a champ. She is the best videographer in the world. Show her some love in the comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.